The dark reign of Pol Pot, Cambodia's nightmare. Imagine waking up one morning, and your entire city is gone. No cars, no markets, no hospitals, just silence. That's exactly what happened in Cambodia. On April 17, 1975. That day, the Khmer Rouge marched into Phnom Penh and their quiet, smiling leader, Saleht Sar, took power, but the world would remember him by another name, Pol Pot. And his dream of a perfect society would soon become one of history's worst nightmares. Who was Pol Pot? Pol Pot wasn't born evil. He was born Saleht Sar in 1925, in a small Cambodian village called Prexbov. His family was actually quite well off. They even had connections to the royal family. He studied in Buddhist temples, then at French Catholic schools, the calm, polite boy who loved books and learning. In 1949, he got a scholarship to study in France, but instead of becoming an engineer like he planned, he got swept up in politics. He started reading Marx, Lenin, and Stalin, and he truly believed that a classless, fair world was possible. When he returned to Cambodia, he wanted to build that world, his own version of utopia. The rise of the Khmer Rouge. Back home, Saleht Sar joined the underground communist movement. He was a teacher by day, revolutionary by night. In the 1960s, his party went deeper underground and took a new name, the Khmer Rouge. That's when Saleht Sar became Pol Pot. His idea was extreme. He didn't trust educated people or city workers. He believed the poor peasants, farmers who worked the land, were the purest people in society. So his dream was to rebuild Cambodia into a peasant paradise where everyone lived and worked equally, without money, without religion, without modern influence. Sounds peaceful, right? But what came next was anything but peaceful. Civil war and victory. In 1970, the Cambodian government was overthrown in a coup, and chaos spread across the country. Pol Pot and his rebels used that chaos to grow stronger. For years, they fought against the government, hiding in the jungles, slowly gaining control. Then, in April 1975, they won. They entered Phnom Penh, and people celebrated. They thought the war was finally over. But within hours, everything changed. Khmer Rouge soldiers with red scarves and guns shouted through megaphones, "Leave the city. Everyone must go." Even patients and hospitals were forced to walk. Families carried what little they had, believing they'd return in a few days. But they never did. Phnom Penh, a city of over 2 million people, became completely empty. And Pol Pot called it Year Zero. He wanted to erase the old world and start human history all over again. Year Zero, a living hell. From that day, Cambodia became a giant prison. Money was gone. Religion was banned. Families were split apart. Children were taken away and trained to obey the regime, even to spy on their parents. People were sent to work in the fields, under the burning sun, 7 days a week, with almost no food. Many starved. Many were executed for the smallest things, crying, praying, or just being tired. The Khmer Rouge had a chilling saying, "To keep you is no benefit, to destroy you is no loss." At prisons like Tul Slang, also called S21, thousands were tortured. Out of 14,000 people who entered that prison, only 12 survived. Wearing glasses could get you killed because glasses meant you could read, and reading meant you were dangerous. Teachers, doctors, artists wiped out. Even Buddhist monks were executed. By the time it was over, about 2 million Cambodians, a quarter of the country, were dead. From hunger. From disease. From pure cruelty. The fall of Pol Pot. 1977. Pol Pot trusted no one, not even his own people. He began killing his generals, accusing them of being traitors. And then, he made one last fatal mistake. He attacked Vietnam. Big mistake. In 1978, Vietnam invaded Cambodia. Within just 2 weeks, Pol Pot's regime collapsed. The nightmare was finally over. He ran into the jungle with a few loyal followers, living like a ghost. 4 years, he hid while Cambodia tried to rebuild from the ashes. In 1997, his own men betrayed him and put him under house arrest. A year later, in 1998, Pol Pot died quietly in his sleep without ever facing real justice. Legacy. Lessons from the darkness. Pol Pot's perfect world turned into one of humanity's darkest tragedies. 1 in every 4 Cambodians died because of his madness. Even today, The fields where people were buried are known as the killing fields. If you visit Cambodia now, you'll see life, color, and laughter again, but beneath it all, the memory still lingers. It's a story that reminds us how dangerous blind belief can be and how one person's dream of perfection can destroy an entire nation. This was the story of Pol Pot, a man who tried to rewrite history and became one of its darkest lessons.